Hello world, Bettina Carey here, and I'm the founder of WeEmpowerYourLife.com website and the We Empower Your Life movement and community. And today our topic for our Wednesday meeting is you are now the media, so profit from it. With so many media, social media platforms, you can easily step into the role of an independent journalist or consumer advocate or profit from it. At today's marketing meeting, we're going to show you exactly how to do this, how to get interviewed, how to earn income from your interviews, and how to create your own media profile and interview people you never thought would even take your call. You're going to see how easy it is for you to be the media today. If you're joining us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live and you want to be a part of this meeting, go to the We Empower You website, which is WeEmpowerYourLife.com. Click on the calendar tab to join us for a Zoom meeting every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest today, who's going to dive deep into this topic, Miss Lee Romanov. Lee Romanov is a motivational speaker who has an action plan on how to start and build your own online income. She is a self-made millionaire, and she's been doing this since 1994. Lee has entertained radio audiences for decades and speaks to sold-out crowds when we're doing that, of course. And she knows how you can activate 10 revenue streams of income online. The money is in your recommendations, is what she says. By simply sending leads to businesses you recommend, you can make thousands of dollars. She knows what works and what doesn't work, and she's here today to share with us how you can be the media too. Welcome, Lee. Take it away.
Okay, thank you very much, Bettina. You practice. That's good. I know you're going to cut this part off too. Okay, so I'm just going to start by sharing my screen. Okay, and I think that everybody can see Sean O'Shea. Just give me a thumbs up, Bettina, and just let me know. Okay. Thank you, Bettina and Dale and Beth and everyone. Okay. So I used to do a lot of interviews on global TV with Sean O'Shea in the mornings in Toronto. And what I said to Sean about 20 years ago is that we, the independent consumer advocates, are going to take over their jobs because we, as independent consumer advocates, lone rangers, so to speak, have a passion that the news reporters, they're given the lines, but we're given the passion. And because we have the passion for the stories, and actually because we're free to appear on these stations, we are going to create a movement and take over the mainstream media. Now, what happened was then enter Huffington Post. Huffington Post had journalist contributors, but they were not paid because they realized that consumers, consumer advocates, what I call independent journalists, even whether you recognize it yourself, contribute content. And of course, they make money from lead revenue. So many journalists never figured out how to make money from their stories. And that's where they went wrong. They were always focused on making money from being paid for their interviews, their articles, and so forth, but they never grasped how to make money from their stories. I myself, because I ate what I caught, maybe that's why I stayed slender, but anyway, I figured out accidentally how to make money from my stories and my content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over with you how to get interviewed, how to earn income from your interviews, and then how to create your own media profile. So I'm going to start with earning money because that is the most important. If you have stories or you're in the news or anything and you're not earning money, then eventually it's just all going to stop and crash in for you. So here is how to earn income online. It's a very, very simple process, but you've got to concentrate with it. To make money online is a 3-step solution. You have to give your audience something they want, which means you have to know who your audience is. You have to know what your message is to your audience. So if you know who your audience is and they know, and then you know what they want, you can create an action on your website that they can do for free that will benefit or save them money. So for instance, the action could be complete a form or click on something. Whatever they do, if they create revenue for you, then you've made money from their actions. So that's a formula. Know your audience, know what they want, and give it to them for free through an action where you make money. And when you make money, make sure you're paid without having to do any work. And I'll go over that a few more times and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But millions of online businesses do this. In fact, almost all multi-million-dollar businesses do exactly what I just told you. And I'll give you an example of this 3-step process. When I had the website insurancehotline.com, I was targeting drivers, and I was telling them the lowest rates. Here, come to my website, get the lowest rates quoted. So I knew my audience. And then I asked them to complete a form to speak to an agent. So if they like the rate, I wasn't going to go and do a policy up for them, but if they like the rate that I was quoted, I just said, complete this form and speak to an agent. So that all makes sense. That follows through. And as soon as they completed the form, because it was an action that they could do for free, the agent paid me $5 per lead, which meant I did not have to do anything to get that money other than know my audience, create an action that they could do for free, and send leads to a broker that said that they would pay me. And I got paid $5 per lead. I averaged $50,000 a month because all my job then was to promote in any way, shape, or form. Now, people think, well, who's going to pay me for the lead? Every business pays for leads. I didn't get a second insurance broker on until I billed them $54,000 one month. And then I got a second broker, and then a third and a fourth, and it grew to 40 brokers. And no brokers ever went off my program because it was extremely profitable for them. So here's a secret sales tip. If this is a lead revenue-based model, the consumer comes in to get their information, they complete a form where you're sending leads to a broker. Now, if you're targeted, up to 40% of your traffic will follow through and complete the form. But what's interesting is that I got the stats from the brokers. 40% of that traffic actually does business. It's the old recommendation I was saying last week that I would always walk by this Chinese restaurant to my sushi restaurant, and I'd have sushi. But one day I was in a line, and this guy in the sushi restaurant said, "Have you ever tried the soup at the Chinese restaurant?" And I said, "No." So after my dinner, I went over to the Chinese restaurant, bought some soup, and I only did it because it was a recommendation. The money is always in the recommendation. Now, this guy that was telling me about it, he would not be on a commercial. You would not use him as an ad. He was kind of geeky, but anyway, that's the power of the recommendation. That's why so many companies want you to like them. It's an unconditional recommendation. So if you're actually on your website trying to sell something, you're much better out to give information and take your 1% of sales and include it somehow in your lead model, because that 1% sales through a recommendation will increase by 4 to 40%. It's crazy, but it's true. And that's why companies know that. They're always building things into their lead model recommendation program. So look, Pinterest does this, and it's so easy. You probably had a website before Pinterest did. Pinterest comes in, says, I am going to create a multi-billion-dollar website, I don't know, on photography. No, we don't take pictures, but hey, you guys, give us your pictures and we'll send you back leads. That's their billion-dollar revenue model. That's it. Blank website, give us your picture, we'll send you back leads. That's it. Can you imagine what kind of work you guys do? So Pinterest gives the audience what they want. Pinterest sends an email saying, here's some images, here's some pictures you may like. I click on that all the time. Then they have an action where their visitors do something like click, where they make money. And that's a pay per click model. Very simple. But here's what they do go direct. They don't go through third parties because there's more money when you go direct. Okay, Google does this. You guys probably know that Google's homepage is just a search bar. I wish I could make someone's website and say, just put up a search bar and say your website's done. But anyway, Google does the same thing. You search for information. They give you, through this ad, companies they believe you would be interested in based on your search. They direct you to the company and they get paid by a click. And what's really good about Google is that they tell you which companies are paying them for leads. And if you go to Google's keyword planner, they tell you how much these companies will pay you for leads. So if you're looking for a veterinarian in Los Angeles pays $7.81 per click, how much more would they pay if the person completed a form on your website where they get the person's name, email, and what they're looking for? The highest paid click is up to $68, just over $68. So this is the power of recommendation and leads. Okay, Facebook does it really simple, the same idea. You give them content, they create an action that makes them revenue. That's it. Billion-dollar revenue. So the $1 million formula to make money online is ask for content and send leads back to a business that gives it to you. Really simple. I'm not saying don't sell your products, don't create your courses, don't write your books, do all that, but incorporate the lead revenue model. Try it, practice it, build on it. It is extremely profitable. Google doesn't say buy my course, YouTube doesn't say this is a great t-shirt, Pinterest doesn't say, hey, I have a course to sell you. None of these businesses, these multi-million-dollar businesses, do what you do. Okay. Bettina created a perfect platform through the We Empower You membership. All entrepreneurs want this. The membership includes a website that tracks your leads, which is Income Activator. It includes a 5-minute TV show spotlight that's featured on Roku, Amazon Fire, Google Play, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku TV. It's all included. And a sponsorship package where you can direct the sponsor to your 5-minute TV show spotlight featuring what your website does, sending visitors to your website where they click and their actions or complete form where their actions make you revenue. This is the multi-million-dollar formula. It's very simple, and actually all you need to do is do it. You've got everything. Now, when your audience, if your audience wants to turn their message into $1 million business, you can just simply send them to Bettina, because Bettina will pay you per leads. If somebody comes to these meetings, or somebody comes to her summit, or somebody just comes directly to Bettina, she'll pay you for leads, because she knows that she's probably going to make 40% revenue from every lead that you send her. Remember, because she's familiar with the sales secret. She doesn't sell, she gets sales through lead revenue. So, and here's what it is basically. And you guys, everybody here can have Bettina's We Empower You membership. It's there for you to have, no charge, free. You can generate revenue from it. You can either send leads to Bettina, and $5 per lead, $160. 160 leads is $800. In any kind of social media sense, sending people, you generate revenue. My $5 per lead, I ended up generating, as I said, $50,000. When Torstar wanted to buy my company, they said, we'll pay you an extra $1 million if you can get that $50,000 up to $100,000. Boy, did I do that quickly. Just motivation. So, or Bettina will also say, hey, you can be part of my 40% buy-in. If you promote the membership, which is $15.99 for the website and TV show and the sponsorship package and so much more, she will pay you $800. So basically 160 leads, instead of getting the $800, could turn into anywhere between $51,000 annually, or 10 leads would equal $8,000 annually. So this is just a highlight in regard to numbers that any one of you can turn around and talk to Bettina about. Bettina started this last year, and she's now receiving annual revenue from members, and she's not doing anything. It's a very slick operation, because again, everybody, all entrepreneurs would love a revenue producing website, a TV show, and a sponsorship package, because that's how you make millions of dollars online. Now, everybody, again, here's the secret. Remember, 1% buys. So if you can somehow create a product line and turn it into a lead revenue model, whereby you can sell your products through leads up to 40%. You'll increase your 1% sales up to 40%. It's crazy, but recommendations work. Or Bettina allows you to add your product or service into her membership package for free, whether you are a member or whether you aren't. And what that does is it says, hey, you can buy my package, or you can buy this whole my package within the website and the TV show and the sponsorship package, because it just makes you and your program look more robust, giving better value to your clients. And usually when somebody sells their package, they may sell it for $200. Well, this gives you $800, and it gives it to you on an annual basis. So you could, in your website, say, I'm going to send leads to myself and sell my package, but I may want to give my visitors another option where they can buy my package within the membership package, getting the TV show, the website, the sponsorship package. And instead of me just making, $200 for my course, I could make $800, even though my course was $200, so I make $600. Math was never my forte, but it doesn't matter. And again, if 40% buy, that's $38,000 annually. And if I only sell 10 out of my 160 leads, that's $8,000. It's not bad. So in the last presentation, I went over this in more depth. That's why I'm skipping over this pretty quickly, because a lot of people here have seen this. And again, Bettina will run through this really, really easily. So the idea earn income from your interviews. To earn income, always build in a lead model. Now, if anybody is confused about how they will build in a lead model, that's where I come in. You pick up the phone and you call me, because every company pays for leads. Now, get interviewed. So, yes, how do I get interviewed? Okay. Well, to start with, the We Empower You membership also comes with 800 talk TV radio stations with listeners anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000, and it also outlines their topics. So this is a really, really good list to connect with if you have a topic or a voice or a message to say. Now, I always know when I'm doing these things that I don't want to always have to buy into the membership. The membership's $1,599. So if you don't have the money to buy in, you can still get interviews. You can still find ways of getting interviews. It's very, very easy. And my marketing manager, Google, does this for me every time, 24/7. All I do is say local radio talk shows, Orange County, and they give me a list of local radio talk shows. Or I could do local talk TV shows, Orange County. They give me a list of local TV shows. So I do have my media list that I can start addressing to get interviews. So let's talk about the perfect pitch. You actually, everybody here has the perfect pitch already, because you are selling your product line to these people, this person and this person. You're selling your product line, which is the hardest thing to do on the planet every day. And you always talk about how this will improve their lives. You already have the perfect pitch. So what this guy and this guy, what if this guy and, sorry, this woman, sorry, is actually a radio editor or a potential client? You don't know. I mean, you could be talking to this as a client, or you could be talking to this radio editor as a client. It doesn't matter. It's the same person. You pitch the same way. The radio personality of TV host is just another potential client. The fact is, they do have 50,000 listeners, but they're the same person. So ask yourself, when you're pitching, what do you think their listeners need to hear? Their listeners need to hear exactly this: how your product or service will improve their lives. Same pitch, nothing's different. It just depends on whether this is Sam or whether this is Sam, the radio editor. Okay, so also, when you're talking to radio people or any media, always add them to your media list and send them breaking news stories in your industry. It doesn't have to be breaking news stories that you do. It's breaking news stories that are happening in your industry, and you just happen to be the voice or the expert or the author of this. It is so easy to use breaking news stories, send it to them and say, you can talk about this. Because usually breaking news stories that are happening in the industry people don't want to talk about this because they could lose their jobs or lose their credentials. So the stations need somebody, and if you're there saying, here I am, they will put you on their radio shows and their TV networks in a nanosecond. Okay, so here's how to sort of get pitch perfect ready. Ask your friends or clients to pitch your topic back to you. Because when you hear your topic pitched back to you, you change things really quickly because you don't feel that that's the exact message that you want to convey. So then pitch it back to them. And as you're pitching it back to them and yourself, both of you write down the perfect one-liners. When you get that format going, and then do it with another person, then do it with another person. In fact, in this meeting, team up in the network session today and get 1 or 2 people and pitch back and forth. And just go offline, phone each other up and pitch back and forth. After about 10 times, if you do it with 10 people, you will have a pitch perfect way of talking to the radio stations or TV networks. Add humor, and if you're not funny, then just smile while you're talking, because they will pick that up and they will automatically smile back. So I just started smiling, so you guys must be laughing by now. Okay, so, and this is the best part because of COVID. Good, silver lining, the media has changed. So it is so easy now to pitch the mainstream media, because they have already figured out that you don't have to go down to their station and go into the green room and do all that crappy stuff. They have the ways now just to do it online through Zoom or whatever other means they use, whatever visual means they use. But it is so easy. It's acceptable. They have almost 2 years into this. So it is now so much easier. Okay, now the next part is create your own media profile. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we were showing the video of the guy on the camel, and he was saying there's either change or there's no change. You're either going to decide that you're part of the media, or you're going to take courses and seminars and read books until you decide you're part of the media. So right now, you are not an independent journalist. And now, in this second, you are now, I have just blessed you as an independent journalist. Everybody here right now is an independent journalist. And if you want to listen to the camel guy again, if you go to Income Activator on the training section, or weempoweryourlife.com on the revenue strategies, the camel guy is here. It's a really good presentation about how to change. And always, you can copy our promotional materials, our emails, and post on social media, sending leads to either Bettina or sales to Bettina if you want to take more money. Use all our social media, use all our presentation materials. Now, here's the day I became a journalist. I pitched a story to the Toronto Star, and their boss, the editor's boss, that day got screwed by their insurance company, and I became a journalist that day. Before I met the editor, I was not a journalist. When I left, I was a journalist. That's how quickly change can happen. That's it. I remember when I answered an ad in the paper after university. Before, I wasn't a candle carver, and when I walked out of the interview, I was a candle carver. Okay, so that's how quickly change can happen. It's you that delays it. It's not anything around you. So I have just blessed everybody as a journalist. So when I became a journalist for the Toronto Star newspaper, I bumped into one of the Globe and Mail editors at a function, and they said, "We've always wanted you to be a Globe and Mail journalist." And I thought, really? Good. Okay, so I was the only person in Canada that actually wrote for both major newspapers, Globe and Mail, the national newspaper, and Wales, the Toronto newspaper, Toronto Star. How I did it? Have no idea. Who cares? You can't do it, but I did it. So then I realized that, hey, you can do anything you want if you actually don't work for a company. If you are an independent journalist, you can do anything you want. And if you don't have credentials, nobody can ever take them away, which is perfect. Okay, so for the last 10 years, I have to tell you, I was a doer. This was my blood, sweat, and tears decade. creating the Income Activator website platform for you guys so you could send leads to businesses that pay you just like all the other multi-million-dollar companies. Okay, so 10 years I've been doing this. Miserable. Programmers take the lifeblood out of you. So at this point, folded, spindled, and mutilated, I'm like, why would anyone want me to interview or be interviewed by me? Why? Anyway, I don't have any more confidence. It's all torn up by the programmers. So what can I offer? What can I offer? Totally lost. So I get sort of that jump from not a journalist anymore to now I am a journalist. So here's how it happens. I wanted to interview a top doctor. I wanted to break into, now this guy had more credentials than I had books, okay? This guy's major in the industry. So how do I break into that industry? I don't know any doctors. So, and I know that interview, if I interviewed this doctor, would bring a lot of attention to me, my business, my program. How do I go about doing that? Like, seriously, easy is the answer. Remember, there's either change or there's no change. I am now an independent journalist. I am creating my media profile. We are now the media. So we, everybody on this call, everybody Bettina knows, everybody that you guys know, if you guys, we want to be a journalist, join us. We have the website, newsreviewsandscams.com. And you can be a journalist. You can, right now, this website features Eyewitness News, Wall Street Journal News, CBS, Fox, NBC, and contact a reporter. And that reporter now is you. So I am doing up my own reporter status. If you guys want to come in and also be a reporter and get me to do a page for you and set you up, so that now I'm going to use this reporter's page to contact that doctor and do a story on him and feature the story on this website, feature the story on my website, maybe put up information on social media, whatever I feel like doing. But the fact is, I am now the media. And they can go to this website and they can contact a reporter and they can look through our reporters list and your name can be on that. And I didn't say anything spectacular about this, just this is the industry I'm in. I give honest reporting. You can contact me day or night, just very basic things. Now I can pump this up saying all kinds of other things, and I will, but people who haven't done any news reporting, this is how you can start. It's a powerful start. So the secret isn't really the secret. The real secret is being part of the media gives you instant respect. That is the secret. If you are an independent journalist, if you're part of the media, if you're reporting the news, you gain instant respect, and also you gain friends. I mean, when you interview someone, they might become your friend. Linda Leatherdale, she interviewed me, I interviewed her, we became friends. And when you become friends, they may buy your product or service, they may recommend your product or service on air. They may connect you to their network. Valerie Gibson, she was the original person that wrote The Cougar, the book I live and die from. So Valerie Gibson, friend of mine, been to many of her parties. Actually, they wanted Sharon Stone to actually play the cougar in the movie that they're creating. So this is the great reason why you become part of the media, because you also meet a lot of the media. Linda also introduced me to Ronnie Hawkins, rock and roll. And I went to Ronnie Hawkins' home, spent the weekend with them, just lots of fun. So we are now the media, and to get your mojo going, get your media profile, connect with me, and let's do up your media profile and start doing the interviews of people that you never normally thought you could connect with. And the way you connect with them is really easy. Let me just see if I added that little part to it. Hold on a second. I did. Okay. This is why you come to these marketing strategies, by the way. Okay, let's say if I want to interview, if I want to get into the chiropractor industry, and I don't know any chiropractors, all I do is I go to my marketing department, Google, and I look top chiropractor topics. I find out who writes about it, and I contact them. And I do an article. I contact them if their article is up my line. I contact them and say, hey, I just read your article. I'd like to do a story on it. Here's my media profile. All of a sudden, you're now the news. Did I add anything else? No, I didn't. Anything, Dale?
Oh, I always get something. Kidding? Well, first of all, you've been talking to me about this for, I don't know, it's in 20 years, and I never understood it, and I still don't. But I now have weekly content already produced, and I just need to know who I should try and get leads to, but I'll call you on that later. Let's see what we learned in this lesson. First of all, that Lee is a self-made millionaire, which I believe, unless you win the lotto or you have a rich uncle, that's the only way you can do it. And then you would walk by a Chinese restaurant to get to the sushi restaurant. That's like walking by Arby's to get to the deli. I mean, it's all pretty much the same stuff. Bettina pays $5 for leads. I currently have 500 leads for you. They're all either fictitious or deceased, but they're leads nonetheless. And let's see. Oh, and then you use the word candle carpenter, which I guess would be somebody that builds candles. And then you corrected it to a candle carver, and I don't know what that is.
That's another off the line conversation.
Oh, all right. The special candles. And then you said that this one guy had more credentials than you have books, and that's not true. You have a lot of books, many of them not even colored in yet. So that's pretty much what I learned.
Go back live now, if that's okay. That's why I've always said that all the smart people don't get this, because all the smart people work really hard. People that are not smart, like my dog, who let the dog in, he makes more money than probably all of you in regard to his website. So, and all he does is he sends leads to vets. That's it. Puts up videos and sends leads to vets. He does pay me. He does pay me to do that, but he still makes a profit. So, and you're right, Dale, I've been talking to you for 20 years and you don't get it.
I got it now. I just need to know how to implement it. So,
okay, well,
that's your lead in for the sales pitch.
Okay, well, actually, there's not really a sales pitch, because when you don't know how to implement it, what I do is I take a look at your website, and then I just say, well, why don't you send, like, if you have you should have a directory. I mean, I know you've got a certain product, which is you, but there's all kinds of directory items you could have. I mean, you could send leads to people that want to learn how to do comedy writing, people that want to learn how to write a book, people that want to do executive training because you focus on the executive market. I mean, you have a directory, and you're probably you probably have more business cards than people I know. And all those business cards, all those people would love to be on the Dale directory, okay, .com. And everybody would go to that because they absolutely adore you. And you could just, your whole website could be just a network of connecting people, sending leads to people, and you could be writing comedy on how you didn't understand this for 20 years and all of a sudden you got it. Huh?
That's
Because
excuse me, that would be a good article.
Everybody.
I'm glad that there's somebody in the audience that took more time than I did, because it took me 2 years, and I'd known Lee for quite a while before I stepped in to take action. So I think you actually hit it out of the park. Today's session was really fantastic. This is an opportunity for everybody who's in this session to ask questions. Otherwise, Lee's going to jet.
Okay, does
anybody
anybody
want to unmute and ask a question? Go for it now.
Okay. What I would do is ask people to unmute. My phone number is 949-545-4211. And I would highly encourage you to call or email me, lee@incomeactivator.com, and see if you want to join, because you are all now journalists. So you should add your profile to contact a reporter and start interviewing high-level people. Because when you start talking to these people, that is so much fun. So any questions?
So be the media now. You are the media. That's been there for many years. Lee's pointing out the obvious fact. I've of course run a radio show, on the Rainier Avenue Radio on Thursdays. So I stepped into that more active role, and I can't wait to jump in and start writing some things as well. So thank you, Lee. It doesn't look like anybody has any questions for you today.
When I
Actually, I'd love to hear the phone number again.
Oh, it's 949
Uh-huh.
545
Uh-huh.
4211.
Great. I don't know if you remember me, Lee, but we met a long time ago through Susie Pruden.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
and
good.
my book, Staying Young at Any Age.
That's right. I do remember you. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. I'm always better if you call towards anytime after 3 p.m. And definitely everybody here should do up a media profile and claim your reporter status.
Sounds great. Thank you. This was fascinating.
Okay, thanks.
If one more time, if I could have your PIN number.
My social insurance number.
Yes, please.
You know what? The internet is always good, except when you get an email with your password in it. Where my extortionist, right? I'll tell you just this story. My extortionist said that he downloaded a camera in my computer and has been taking pictures of me for weeks. And I thought, and if I don't pay him $3,000, he's going to send this video to all my contacts, that he stole too. And so I wrote to my dear extortionist, Thomas, and I said, Thomas, I have a crap open rate. So if your videos are better than mine, knock yourself out. Ironically, if I paid you, you wouldn't be doing this.
Always pay attention to those scams that are out there for sure. That's not a novel one. That's been around, right?
Yeah. So don't be threatened by scams. And that scam is also being reported in the website that you're going to be on for a reporter, because scams, we need to report this kind of garbage.
There you go. Thank you so much, Lee. It's been great to have you as always. We'll see you next week, same time, same station.